here we go then. This is a video I've been putting off doing for a long time. We are finally rebuilding, or building, I guess, the team that I support, Bristol City. Now, I always say in FM, never manage the team that you actually support, because it'll really frustrate you if things don't go your way. But people in my Discord community, people in the YouTube comments have been asking for it. They've been saying, Steve, do a Bristol City rebuild, because I should, in theory, know everything about the club, right? Being the team that I support. Let's dive in and take a look at Season 1 for Bristol City in this rebuild. Right then, guys, this is Bristol City, and this is the rebuild. They have once won the Sky Bet Championship, or when it was the first or second division it would have been then, and they won the first division to get themselves into what is the top division in England. They won that previously, 1906. 1906. It's a long time ago. They've won Sky Bet League One once. They are 3 times winners of the Papa John's Trophy, most recently in 2015. I was at that game. And then there's a lot of cups and trophies that do not count anymore because they are not things that Bristol City participate in. So in terms of things, this is very much a build, isn't it? It's not really a rebuild. Club background wise, they are quite nice. Obviously founded 1894, professional English club, Sky Bet Championship, and we did narrowly avoid relegation from the Championship last season, and have pretty much done it again this season thanks to Derby and Barnsley and stuff like that. So we might have been in a little bit more trouble had points deductions and stuff like that not taken place. But that's a little bit about the history. If we go into the profile of Bristol City, I'll give you a little bit more of a background. I love our kits. The kits are really nice. The stadium is obviously Ashton Gate, which if I expand that so that you guys can see it, that is Ashton Gate, obviously based in Bristol, no roof, 27,000 capacity, very good condition as it should be because these 3 bits are brand new. So, okay, that is the stadium and stuff like that. We've got an interesting squad, but I'm going to try something very different. Strikerless is a thing that has been spoken about a lot. Obviously, Dr. Benji used the strikerless formation in the latest showdown in Season 4 of the showdown. So I wanted to try it myself. So I've created this little strikerless masterpiece that we have here. So if we quick pick without restriction the best 11, this is how things are looking going into this season. And this is my striker list. As you can see, it's V5. It does go on to V6 later on in the video. So we've tweaked a couple of things to make it even better. But this is my striker list test. Obviously, if you guys want this formation, let me know either down in the comments or in my Discord community. The link to that will be at the top of the description as well. Come on in, let me know that you want to see this striker list, let me know that you want to try it out, and then we'll go from there. But it's a 4-1-1-4-0, obviously, no strikers. And this is kind of what I wanted to do. I kind of wanted to build the team around this man, Alex Scott. Now, youngster in the Bristol City team, 17 years of age at the start of a game. He turns 18 pretty quickly, but 17 at the start of a game. I think he can be and has the potential to be fantastic. Currently rated at a 3.5-star player, has a 5-star potential. I think he could be the main man that we build this team around. We obviously do have a couple of youngsters in here as well. Belarus is another one that could well go on to be a good little player for us. He will play in that cam spot or that shadow striker spot as well. Obviously Halnoa Masengo, he will be a mainstay in this team. He is currently wanted by Arsenal, Newcastle and Tottenham, so I think I might struggle to keep hold of him, but I will be trying my best because he will be this anchor role. I think he will be fantastic there, doing really good things for us. We do have other players as well. Another one that I want to touch on is Antoine Semenyo, another player who can play on both wings and can play up front. He, in this instance, will be playing on the wings for us. We do have the man who scored over 20 goals this season as well, Andy Weimann. He's kind of bounced around a number of clubs, but is now obviously at Bristol City, for those of you who didn't know. So it's going to be interesting to see how Weimann gets on. He obviously scored 20 goals in real life this season, or 20 plus goals in real life this season. So I'm intrigued to see how he gets on. We've obviously got a couple of other players down here that we don't need to worry about too much. But this is the team. Sweeper keeper, 2 fullbacks on support duty, 2 centre backs. Taylor Moore is obviously out on loan, so won't be playing this season. Masengo, Matty James, Weimann, Belarus, Scott, and Callum doubter. The team at the moment is pretty well balanced, and we are in these 3 competitions, obviously Carabao Cup, Emirates FA Cup and Sky Bet Championship. The board expectation for us in this first season is to finish inside the top half of the Sky Bet Championship, which when you go on and have a look at the season preview, we're predicted to finish 19th. So 50 to 1 to win the division, which I don't think is going to happen with the likes of Bournemouth and Fulham and Sheffield United and stuff like that in there as well. But I'd like to finish a little bit better than the top half, but you never know. This is untested to a point with my strikerless tactics, so you never know how things are going to get on. Predicted to finish in 19th in the Championship. In terms of the club vision and stuff like that, this is how we are looking. Sign and sell players for a profit. They also want me to work within the wage budget. That's not a problem. We can definitely do that. Top half of the Championship, and then 4th round and 3rd round of the domestic cups respectively. And then they want to work towards getting in the playoffs and stuff like that, and getting promoted into the Premier League by the 2024-2025 season. Then look to build on promotion to the Premier League after that. So it's going to be interesting. Develop players using the club's youth system as well. City actually do have some pretty decent facilities, excellent training facilities and great youth facilities. So they are actually pretty good, pretty well set and established as a club to potentially take that next step. Let's see what happens. Let's simulate this first season in the Championship and see how my strikerless formation gets on. So guys, end of the first season, and it would appear against the AI, strikerless is very, very overpowered. We didn't make any signings in this Bristol City season, in season number 1. And we've managed to get ourselves promoted out of the Championship via the playoffs. So this is the table on screen right now. Bournemouth, top of the Championship with 99 points. Sheffield United in 2nd with 93. We did finish in 4th in the league. It's not like we were one of those teams who snuck in 6th and sort of cheesed their way to getting themselves promoted. We did finish in 4th. So we will take a look at that playoff run in a second. In terms of all things though, 22 victories, 15 draws and 9 defeats. We scored 83 goals, which I think, looking at it very quickly, is the 2nd most in the division. We did concede too many though, 53 goals that we did concede. So that's probably where we're going to have to work on things going into that Premier League season. So let's have a look at the schedule to see what happened with promotion. So at the bottom of your screen there, you can see we took on Blackburn Rovers in the playoff semi-final. We lose 2-0 at Ewood Park, which is very disappointing to lose away from home. We take them back to Ashton Gate, and a brace from Antoine Semenyo is the deciding factor. Taking the tie to 2-2, looks like it went to extra time and then went to penalties where we were able to prevail. Naki Wells, Matty James, Benarus and King scoring the penalties for us, and Joe Williams missing the penalty for us. But for Blackburn, Hedges and Giles missed, Bradley Dack scored, and Jake Davenport got the goal. So we go through on penalties for a big appearance at Wembley. Now, Bristol City have been in this game before when Hull got promoted, when Dean Windass scored that goal. I was there, sat behind the goal. And we didn't do it. This time around though, extra time was required to beat Fulham, but we got the job done. Alex Scott, 2 from Matty James, and Eamon Benarus in the 104th minute, winning it for us. A youngster scoring the goal, which I'm going to show you here. A youngster scoring the goal to send Bristol City into the Premier League. Now look, I just clocked their ratings there. 5.8 for the Fulham goalkeeper. His backside looks like it's fallen out. But this is the goal then that sends Bristol City into the Premier League. 102 minutes on the clock. Andy Vyman's there into Benarus. The run is in behind. He's in one-on-one, and that is a very nice finish from a youngster. And this is the sort of core that we're going to try and build this Bristol City team around. We're going to try and build it around all of our youngsters. Looking at the stats though, Fulham definitely decided should have won this game. 26 shots for them, 12 on target, 3.8 XG. We had 6 on target and scored 4, so evidently this tactic is pretty darn clinical. But we go into the Premier League. In terms of the other competitions, knocked out in the 5th round of the FA Cup by Leicester City, and we got first rounded in the Carabao Cup by Bournemouth. But 1, it's Bournemouth, and 2, it's the Carabao Cup, so it doesn't matter as much to me. In terms of the finances and stuff though, guys, if we take a look at things, we've got a decent little transfer budget, 26.1 million going into our first season in the Premier Premier League. Obviously, I did say that we didn't we didn't concede a good number of goals. We conceded far too many. So that's probably where I'm going to look at strengthening off the bat. And I notice you guys say in these rebuilds, I sign all the same players all the time. So I have a feeling that this one will be very different coming out of the Championship in that first season. So let's get through the summer and we'll be back for a transfer update for season 2 right now. Right then guys, transfer update for season number 2, and we've done some business, but not loads. We have brought in 3 players who I think can really help us this year. We've brought in Connor Roberts from Burnley. He was transfer listed, the right back, Welsh international, comes in, former Bristol Rovers player, only made 2 appearances for Bristol Rovers whilst he was on loan from Swansea, so I'm not going to count it too much. But Connor Roberts, Robbo becomes a Bristol City player. We bought him for 2.2 million, so Burnley made a little bit of profit on him. Played a little bit in the Premier League for them last year and didn't get a very good rating, but I like Connor Roberts. I think he adds a little bit more to us. Bobby Reid is back at Bristol City. I had the opportunity to bring him back. He was transfer listed by Fulham, and I had the opportunity to do it. He is a Bristol City legend, dare I say, in certain circles, and I had the opportunity to bring him back, so I thought, why not? Let's bring him back, let him have a crack at the Premier League. He has the player trait which I'm looking for in this strikerless formation of arrives late. Basically, I want to get the balls down the wing, and then the centre sort of shadow strikers come in and put the ball in the back of the net. Pretty straightforward, isn't it? But we got Bobby Reid, £4.7 million we got him for from Fulham. And Pierre Lise Melou is how I'm going to say this dude's name, is another central midfielder. I think he can add a little bit more legs for us in that middle central attacking midfield, central midfield spot, should I say. Really nice mentals is basically what I'm looking for. He's a big lad, good mentals, good determination. I'm just looking for a runner in here, basically, that can do all the dirty work as we move things around. We've had a couple of outgoings as well, nothing too severe to talk about. Chris Martin, Tim Close, Andy King have all left the club for Aberdeen, Lutheran and Ulsan respectively. So we've got rid of a couple of the older bodies in here. And we brought in a couple of younger ones to sort of deal with things as well. In terms of the tactic, if we quick pick our best 11 going into the season, obviously I didn't spend all the cash, but this is how we're looking. Dan Bentley in goal, Connor Roberts, Taylor Moore is back, and after his loan, he was at Hearts last season. I'm actually going to play him. I'm going to play him in the Premier League. I think he has the ability. Look at him, 4.5-star current potential ability. I think he could get there as well. 25 years of age, nice little player. I'm going to try him. Nathan Baker's there, but he's suspended. Jada Silva, Masengo, Lise Melou is there. Semenyo, Bobby DeCorva-Reid, Alex Scott, and Callum O'Dowda. This is our best 11 going into this Premier League season. There is a bid under for Naki Wells as well to send him out on loan to Rotherham, but I may need Naki Wells at some point. Anyway, competitions. Obviously, we're in the Carabao Cup again. We've got Leyton Orient in the second round this time. Potentially a little bit better for us. Fingers crossed it is, that we can actually get through Leyton Orient. We've got the Emirates FA Cup and obviously the Premier League. Now, we're expected to fight bravely against relegation. If we go on to the Premier League, currently in 5th, I would bite your hand off for that. But if we go into the season preview, yeah, 700 to 1. It's not really looking good for us, is it, going into this Premier League season, 700 to 1, but we will try our best to see what we can do, to see if we can steer Bristol City to some sort of safety in terms of that club vision and stuff like that. They've added a little bit more into the club culture, develop players using the club's youth system. We are definitely doing that. I mean, we've got several of them in our starting 11, and we've even brought one of them back in Bobby Reid. So I think we're doing that absolutely fine. Sign players under the age of 23 for the first team. They're very disappointed. That will come. I'm looking for, I say proven, like Premier League players at the moment. Play defensively solid football, maybe not. Play direct football, definitely not. Play counter-attacking football, yes, that is something the striker list does do. Sign and sell players for a profit, work within the wage budget. Maximum 1-year contracts for players over the age of 33. I won't be signing anyone over the age of 33, so don't worry about that, Mr. Lansdowne. Minimum 3-year contracts for first team players is what it is. Fight bravely against relegation, 4th round and 3rd round in the cup competitions respectively. Let me know down in the comments what you think. Can I survive season number 1 in the Premier League? Let's get into it. So the season is over. We have had our first year in the Premier League, and I have to say we have avoided relegation. We are safe. We finished in 14th in the Premier League. 13 victories, 5 draws, 20 losses. 23 minus in terms of that goal difference is really something we need to work on with this team. 44 points, so we are relatively safe. Sheffield United get relegated in the top spot out that relegation zone with 27 points. So we are pretty safe. We are quite far away from the European spots, but I'm not really looking that high up the table, especially just yet. We've got a lot of players on yellow cards as well. Masengo got 16, Connor Roberts got 14. In terms of the goal scorers, Casey Palmer had a very good season for us in the Premier League in that shadow striker role, but he is the only player of ours in this section. So it definitely does take some work, this strikerless system, but I'm hoping we can get there. That is a very good season for us. Liverpool win the Premier League, Man City comes second, 2 points separating them. Is that an omen for this season? But in terms of the other competitions, knocked out in the 4th round of the Emirates FA Cup by Newcastle United and knocked out in the 3rd round of the Carabao Cup by Everton. As I said, Casey Palmer, top goal scorer for us in the Premier League. 15 goals for him. Phenomenal return, to be perfectly honest. 26 years of age, the former Chelsea man. Looks very good. 15 goals, 9 assists from that shadow striker role for the most part. That's a very good season for him. Fair play. Absolutely happy with him. Taylor Moore repays my faith in him being our highest average rated player throughout the course of the season, averaging a 7.11 in the Premier League, which is absolutely brilliant. So fair play to him. 14 assists for Bobby Reid, along with 8 goals, proving that he was a good addition back into the team as we go into the Prem. Now, one player that I will be keeping an eye on throughout the course of this and will be showcasing to you is Mr. Alex Scott, the main man who I'm wanting to build this team around. He's slowly starting to develop. 19 years of age now. He's had 1 cap for the England under-21s. And he's also valued at 52 to 75 million pounds now. So he is very much developing. He's had an average to poor season in the Premier League, to be perfectly honest. 6.56 in the Prem. But it's his first year in the Prem. He was 18-19 for the entire course of the season, so I'm not too worried about it. I think he will grow and get better and better and better. So if we go into the finances, 46 million. The Premier League money is hitting now, guys. 46.6 million pounds to spend going into season number 3 of this Bristol City rebuild. Let's get into it. Transfer update coming up right now. So here we are then, season 3 going into the Premier League, and I have splashed some cash. This is our main signing right here. Some of you guys will know Samuel Ricky. He comes in from Empoli. We spent 27.5 million pounds for him. I think he is going to be my dynamic man in central midfield. He is young, 21 years of age, not been capped by the Italian national team just yet. He comes in as a star player on 115k a week. He has that consistent trait. He also has exceptional physicals, really nice mentals for someone 21 years of age, and he has that 17 passing. He gets forward whenever possible, dictates tempo, runs with the ball often, tries long range passes. He's good on both feet. This guy is brilliant, and I never usually get a chance to sign him because he goes to Juventus all the time in these rebuilds, but not today. He is now a Bristol City player. Looking at his career stats, we paid 27.5 million pounds for him, averaged a 7 rating last season in the Serie A from central midfield for Empoli, which is obviously a team that are going to be struggling in the Serie A. So I think he did very well. Zeno van Helsen comes in, the centre-back, the Belgian centre-back. He's had 2 caps for Belgium, actually, having been at Inter Milan. He was transfer listed as well. We're trying to spend our money wisely, basically, guys. 4.6 million pounds for him. He only had 1 appearance for Inter in the Serie A last year. Wanted to play some football, and I was more than happy to bring him in to play alongside Taylor Moore and be our dynamic centre-back partnership. Really happy with him coming in. We've had a couple of other outgoings as well. Naki Wells did go out on loan. Robert Atkinson is now gone. He's gone to Derby. And then a couple of younger players as well. And we've also signed this guy, Romanian international. I'm not even going to try and say his name because Moratan is how I'm going to say his last name, but I definitely don't think that's correct. He comes in, he can play as that shadow striker, he can play on the right, can play on the left, can play in central midfield. Bit of a utility player for this tactic. Comes in as a squad player, was happy to come in as a squad player, and I was quite happy to bring him in. Comes in for £8 million from Galatasaray, having been there for 2 years. Didn't really set the Super League alight in Turkey last season, but I think he can do something and do a job for us here. So if we go into the tactic and we do a quick pick without restriction of our best 11, Bentley, Roberts, Moore, Van Housden, Jada Silva, Masengo, Ricky there, Semenyo, Bobby Reed, Alex Scott, and Benarus on the left. Now Benarus, Eamon Benarus is the kind of big issue here that we do have, looking at the star ratings, of course. Not that we take too much interest in the star ratings, because everybody's being judged on how good Ricky is. But it is a cause for concern potentially going into this season number 3 in season number 3 in total, season number 2 of us in the Premier League. We've got all these competitions, obviously the Friendly Cup, ignore that one, Emirates FA Cup, Carabao Cup, and that Premier League. They want us to fight bravely against relegation again, and looking at the season preview, it's much the same. 700 to 1 are the odds. I'm not holding much hope, to be perfectly honest. I feel we will stay up, but not by a lot. I'm expecting the same sort of finish again. I needed to strengthen my defense, and Ricky was transfer listed, so I bought him. He's not a player I needed, but he's a player I wanted, and I think that should we sell him for a lot of money later on down the line, we could probably make some good money back off of him. So the opportunity was there. I bought a player that I didn't really need for the long-term gain of this save. So 700 to 1, I'm hoping we can stay up. In terms of that club vision and stuff, we're increasing as much as we can. Physios allowed, scout wages, performance analysis, coaches allowed, and stuff like that. We are really trying to build this club and make them really as good as possible. If we go into the club vision again, we've kind of discussed the expectation for this current season, so it's going to be interesting to see how we do get on. I'm hoping we can have a good season in the Premier League. We can stay here, we get more Premier League money, and then we build and build and build. Let's get through this season and see how we get on. So another season is done, and we have stayed up in the Premier League. We finished in 14th again for the second season in a row, which I'm actually not too bothered about. 13 victories for us, 6 draws, 19 losses. We are still shipping too many goals. We do have that minus 23 goal difference again, and 45 points for us in this season. Liverpool again winning the Premier League pretty darn comfortably, but things are okay for us. We didn't get relegated. West Brom, Brighton, and Bournemouth go down in this particular season, so things were looking okay for us. If we expand stuff as well, we take a look at the goal difference. We've conceded 78 goals, 7 of which against Chelsea, and we score 55, so the balance needs to shift slightly. We need to concede less goals, so we will be looking to strengthen at the back in this summer window going into season number 4. And going into season number 4, we have £51.5 million to do so, and we've got 64 million in the bank as well, so things will need to progress quite nicely, because I think next season we are kind of going to try and do better in the Premier League. It feels like we've just been kind of surviving, making ourselves an established Premier League team, and then not really building on that. So this is the summer where we build on that, we sort out our defensive problems, and then hopefully next season we go from strength to strength. Knocked out in the 3rd round of the FA Cup by Bournemouth, knocked out in the 4th round of the Carabao by Derby County, they've won Sky Bet League 1, so fair play to them. Yeah, still need some work to be done. What are we, 14 points off of the European spots, 9 away from relegation. Yeah, definitely need some work to be done, and we've got a big war chest to do it, so let's go and do it. Transfer update season 4 coming up next. So guys, lots to update you on going into season number 4. We've had a big outgoing actually. Dan Bentley has gone. He has gone to Rangers. Now he wanted to leave because we actually bought ourselves a new goalkeeper. We wanted to upgrade. I didn't want to keep Bent against his will, so I offered him out. Rangers came in, they said they wanted him, so he will go and now be playing his trade up in the Scottish Premier League. So he was a bigger outgoing for £4.1 million, but we've been out and we have spent some cash, ladies and gentlemen. Nassi Unavar comes in from Ajax, again another player who I rarely sign but I think is perfect for this formation. Youngster comes in, 6.75 million, could rise to 7, and then basically we've kind of gone in and tried to strengthen as much as we possibly can. Vignato has come in. He was an absolute gem in FM21. I've never used him in FM22, so I want to see how good he can be. Again, he can play in a number of the positions that I need him to play in. He's a good flair player. I feel He can unlock defenses, good on both feet, good vision. So he's exactly what I'm looking for in these attacking spots. So Vignato's in. This is the goalkeeper that we have signed. Breno comes in as our new goalkeeper, 25 years of age, Brazilian, 6'2". Good agility, good jumping reach as well. Nice aerial reach, which is nice. Good reflexes as well. Pretty good at one-on-ones. I feel he's an upgrade on Dan Bentley, unfortunately for Bents. So hopefully we don't ship as many goals this season, ultimately. We've also signed this guy as well. Kelvin is how I'm going to say his name. Brazilian fullback. Just look at his attributes, man. He's got at least 11 in everything. He's so well-rounded. Moves the ball onto his right foot before attempting to dribble, but it's fine. He's a right back. I'm hoping he does that. But yeah, I just think he's so well-rounded. We brought him in from a team in Brazil for 7.25 million. I believe that was his release clause. But yeah, I'm happy with him coming in. And then we signed Luke Thomas as well. £30 million for Luke Thomas coming in. I think he's going to be our left back for the remainder of this save. We all know about Luke Thomas, good young English talent, 23 years of age in this particular simulation, gets forward whenever possible, runs down the left of the ball, good on both feet, good work rate. Is exactly what I'm looking for in that full back position. If we jump things forward, that is all the transfers that I have to update you on. If we go into our tactics then, and we quick pick without restriction our best 11, this is how we are looking. Breno, Kelvin, Moore, Van Housden, Thomas, Masengo, Ricky, Semenyo, Vignato, Scott, and Benarus. Eamon Benarus is still loitering. He is getting better as well, actually. His attributes look pretty good. He needs some work on his mentals, but he's good on both feet. Can play in a number of positions for us. I'm still quite happy with him. But the development of this man, Alex Scott, he's now got 17 for dribbling, which is brilliant. 13 finishing, 15 first touch. He's going from strength to strength. He's 20 years of age in this save right now, and he's got a few more caps for the England under 21. Still not capped by England at full level, but maybe he'll get there. Maybe he will get there. So all in all, that is the team. We've got a little bit more depth this time around. Obviously, Connor Roberts, Bobby Reed, Casey Palmer, Nasi Univar are all on the bench as well. Jada Silva, certain players like that. We've still got a good development. We've still got a good core. We've still got good players to come in and supplement as well, should we need to. And I feel the balance of star ratings is definitely much more there this season. Ricky is wanted by Spurs. What do we think of Tottenham? He ain't going there. So in terms of the competitions, obviously we're in the same three: Carabao Cup, Emirates FA Cup, and the Premier League. The board expectation is to avoid relegation. Yes, sir, Mr. Lansdowne. If we go into this and take a look at the season preview, we've been 700 to 1. Now we're 800 to 1. It's 700 to 1 for the past two seasons. Season number 4, 800 to 1. So the bookies are not backing us, the in-game bookies. But we go again. We go again. I feel that we're actually stronger this year than we have been over the last couple of years. I feel like the tactic is working. I feel like our defensive line and goalkeeper are much better going into season number 4. So let's simulate it. Let's get it in the books and see how we get on. So guys, season 4 is done, and we have done a little bit better than we have done in the previous couple of seasons. We have finished in 12th. It looks like we've kind of sorted some of the issues, but we still have that minus goal difference. 14 victories, 5 draws, 19 defeats throughout the course of the season, minus 16 in terms of that goal difference. If we take a look at stuff, we conceded 66 goals, but we didn't score as many as I would have liked, but we have slightly addressed the goal conceded issue, and the points total and stuff like that does reflect it. 47 points is our highest points return in the Premier League so far. We are making progress. It is steady. The Premier League is very difficult to sort of establish yourself in, especially with some of the money that is thrown around by some of these top teams. Liverpool win the Premier League for a 3rd season in a row. If we look at the other competitions, knocked out in the 4th round of the FA Cup by Brentford, and knocked out in the 4th round of the Carabao by Aston Villa. But we're almost breaking in to the top half of that Premier League table, which would be absolutely brilliant. Alex Scott, top goal scorer for us in the Premier League. He is now a 4-star player with that 5-star potential still. His agility and stamina have gone up as well. He's doing really well. His dribbling and his first touch are looking very nice. As I said, this is a nice test for me to see how good he could actually become for Bristol City. I'm just going to dip into the club vision as well. This season we've been trying to keep things ticking over and making them as good as possible for this save. So we've asked the board to improve the youth facilities and the training facilities. So the youth facilities will go up, as will the training facilities. Fantastic. Really hoping that that can happen and we go through and we actually, you know, are a much more established club that can really deal with life in the Premier League. So all in all, I'm happy with season number 4. We've got the finances, we've got another 50 million to spend going into season number 5. So let's get it. So guys, you know what time it is. At this stage of the video, in every single rebuild, I ask you guys to let me know down in the comments if you are still here, if you are still watching this rebuild. So I would like you to comment in there, come on you Reds. That's what they chant at Ashton Gate for Bristol City. So I want to hear you say, come on you Reds, down in that comment section. Right, let's get into season number 5. Here we go then, transfer update for that 5th and final season. We have been busy. I forgot to tell you that Ebro Eze came in January. I always have the opportunity to sign this guy and he always seems to go somewhere else, but I think he's going to be a really nice addition for us. Comes in from Crystal Palace, good consistency, likes big matches, good on the ball, good composure. Again, he can play in a number of these positions. He was pretty good for us last season in the Prem, 13 appearances, 3 goals, 1 assist. We bought him for £8 million. Crystal Palace made a loss on him. Obviously, we were able to pick their pockets and pick him up for £8 million. I think he can be a good little signing for us. Mark Gahey is how I'm going to say this dude's name, the Ivorian centre-back. He comes in from Crystal Palace as well. The man was transfer listed. Palace have absolutely shit the bed with this one. I have no idea what they're doing letting this man go. He is phenomenal. £3.1 million. I could not believe my luck. An established Premier League player, in my opinion. Yes, he's had a couple of seasons in the Championship here, but an established Premier League player, very good player, high potential player, and Palace have just let him go for £3 million, which is absolutely ludicrous. But their loss is very much our gain. Now things start to get a little bit silly. We've signed Rodrigo. Now, he was a Manchester City player. Man City bought him from Real Madrid, and we managed to pick him up from Manchester City. He wanted to leave. He wanted to play more regular football. I thought he was the perfect man to come in and play as the winger on this right-hand side. We look at his history. Man City bought him from Real Madrid for £34 million, and now Bristol City have bought him for £18 million. I think that is a good price that we've paid for him. But Rodrigo, a Galactico, is now a Bristol City player. We've also signed Dwight McNeil as well for £35 million. I think he is the exact person to play for us on the left-hand side in that winger spot. Dwight McNeil, obviously, in this save, starts off at Burnley. Burnley were relegated in this season, so I managed to pick him up. 25 years of age, still not capped by England, but another English player in that core that I'm trying to build kind of around Bristol City players, existing Bristol City players. So we spent some money there. Andy Vyman's now gone on loan to Wimbledon. Cameron Pring's gone. Max O'Leary has gone to Fulham as well. Some other outgoings. Lees Milo goes on a free transfer. George Tanner's gone as well. Joe Williams is gone as well. All of that stuff. So that is the transfer update for this 5th and final season. The team, though, if we go into the tactic and we quick pick without restriction, our best 11. Samuel Ricky wants to leave. He wants to go to a bigger club. I kind of understand where he's coming from, but this is the team, right? So we've got Breno in goal, Calvin at right back, Taylor Moore, who obviously is a Bristol City player number 1 in the team. Gahey is here, Luke Thomas, Hano Masengo as that anchor. He's been here all the time. Bristol City player number 2. Samuel Ricky, Rodrigo Vignato, Alex Scott, Bristol City player number 3, and then Dwight McNeil. So we've got 3 of the existing players from the Bristol City team in this starting 11 going into season number 5. And we've also got Jada Silva, Semenyo, Zach Viner, Benarus is still there. I don't know if you count Bobby Reed. Casey Palmer is still there. So we've still got some of the original core of the Bristol City team in here. So I'm hoping you guys this time around think that I've made some different signings. You don't see me sign Rodrigo all the time, that's for damn sure, especially at a team like Bristol City. Going into the competitions, this is the last of the 5th and final season. Premier League mid-table is what the expectation is. If we look at the season preview, they obviously feel like we've done some good work. We are now valued at 300 to 1 and predicted to finish in 15th. Considering we've been expected to finish rock bottom for the past couple of years, I will take it. I will very much take it. There's also something else I wanted to point out, that in the club vision, we're almost there in terms of the youth facilities have been upgraded, and the training facilities are almost there as well. So this is going to be a very good save for you guys to pick up. We've got excellent youth, excellent training, and that training will bump up to superb in a few months' time. By the time you are back next, it will be there. I've also got to shout out this guy, Kendall Henry, comes through our youth intake, 18 years of age. Looks like he could be a very good prospect, committed attacking midfielder. I'm trying to retrain him as a shadow striker, but also model citizen personality. Could be a good little player in this save if you do decide to pick this one up. Other competitions: 5th round expectation for the Emirates FA Cup and a 4th round expectation for the Carabao Cup. So let's see how season 5 goes with potentially the best Bristol City team ever assembled. So close, but yet so far away in this 5th and final season with the best Bristol City team ever assembled, in my opinion. We finished in 9th in the Premier League. Now, we did finish inside the top half, but I feel things could have been better. We finished in 9th on 63 points, but that run towards the end of the season has really cost us. We had a draw followed by 3 consecutive defeats, meaning we didn't get points for a long period of time. We could have finished above Chelsea, Everton and Leeds, but absolutely bottled it going into the end of the season. This is our highest points return by a long way, 63 points. We finish above Tottenham, we finish above Arsenal, we finish above, obviously, money bags, Newcastle United. So yeah, all in all, a very good season. Very happy with how things have gone, but it could have been just that little bit better. 19 victories, 6 draws, 13 defeats for us, 85 goals scored. We scored a lot of goals this year and conceded 67, so probably a little bit of work needed to be done there. But because we scored so many, did we score the most in the division? Yes, we scored the most goals in the Premier League. What an achievement that is. Genuinely, I genuinely mean that. We scored the most goals inside the Premier League. In the other competitions, though, we were knocked out in the 4th round of the FA Cup by Hull City, knocked out in the 2nd round of the Carabao Cup by Birmingham City, but ultimately it is the Premier League that is the bread and butter. We did finish in 9th. We did do really well, and I'm really happy with it. I couldn't have expected much more out of this Bristol City team. We are an established Premier League side, and in that next season you would expect to take things to that next level and get some European competition 6 seasons in. But that is it for today's rebuild. If you would like to get your hands on this save, you can do so via my Discord. I put all of my rebuilds into my Discord channel so that you guys can pick it up from this exact point. We've got a really nice squad here, and I'd love to see you guys take over Bristol City and take them to that next level. But if you do enjoy the rebuild content, check out the playlist. It's going to pop up on screen now for some more rebuilds, especially last week's one with Watford. Take care, guys.